Nearly every designer today is using AI at some point in their design workflow, but the top designers are using a powerful AI tool that transforms their design workflow from the very beginning and results in less manual work, smarter AI output, and more harmony between the tools you use for work every day. Today we're talking about MCPs. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It basically lets AI connect to the tools that you're already working in: Figma, your browser, design documentation, component libraries, design systems, and much more. Instead of describing your work to AI, it can actually see it and interact with it. And for designers specifically, this is one of the biggest shifts that changes how we work. In this video, I'm going to show you how MCPs work in design workflows that you can adopt immediately for yourself. We're covering how to set them up, which ones actually matter, and how to string them together so that AI isn't just assisting you, it's moving your work forward so that you can make decisions that actually require your skills as a designer. Let's get into it. First off, let's talk a little bit more about what an MCP server actually is, because right off the bat, it can sound like a pretty daunting term that only applies to developers or technical people. But once you understand what it is, you'll see that it's actually a simple concept, and it can apply to anybody using AI, but especially designers in my opinion, and I'll explain why soon. Again, it stands for Model Context Protocol, and it's a standardized connector that bridges AI models like Claude or Gemini, for example, with external data sources and tools. Think of it as a universal adapter that allows AI assistants to securely read and write to files or interact with databases without requiring custom integrations for every single platform. A basic example is because I have the Gmail MCP server connected to Claude Code, I can ask Claude anything about the content of my Gmail because it has read access to it, meaning it can read my emails. For example, I can ask it to summarize what I've talked about with my friend Adam over the past 3 months. But because it also has write and delete access, I could also ask Claude to basically create an AI generated email draft that I could then review, edit, and send. That's a pretty elementary example, and don't worry, I'm going to dive deeper into the more useful and complex use cases. To put it another way, instead of copy and pasting between tools constantly, Claude or any MCP compatible AI like Cursor or Codex can read, write, and act inside of your actual tools. If there's any other tool out there that you want to connect to your favorite AI tool like Claude or Codex, for example, if there's an MCP server for it, which for most popular apps out there nowadays there is, that connection will be possible and both of your tools can be in sync. Here's why designers specifically should care about this. Our work often lives across maybe 5 to 10 tools or even more, like Figma, Notion, Slack, Framer, Linear, Granola, potentially many more. My point is we use a lot of different tools day to day, and there's a lot of context across all of those tools. And when you're building a prototype in Claude Code, for example, that conversation you had with your teammate on Slack, those meeting notes about your design sync from Granola, or maybe that design spec or PRD that you have in Notion, that's all context that's relevant to Claude Code when it's building that prototype. And without MCP servers, you're gonna find yourself copying and pasting a lot of different context. But with your MCP servers set up, you can just tell Claude, go fetch all the relevant context for this design project and then come up with a plan. That's a super common use case for me because it brings together every fragmented part of your design process, from research all the way to shipping. Now it's time to show you how to actually set up these MCP servers so that you can start using them. I personally use Claude Code, but the process is very similar if you're using Codex, Cursor, or similar. In Claude Code, open your sidebar, go to Customize, then head over to connectors. This is the term that Claude uses to refer to MCPs. Now, while I'm at this point, I think this is a good time to show you what MCP servers I actually have connected as a working full-time designer. I'll demo the most important ones pretty soon, but I recommend you consider all of these listed here as they're pretty essential MCP servers for me. First off, I have Figma. This is pretty much the most popular MCP server for designers because it takes an already super useful design tool and it meets designers where they are in 2026, spending so much time in AI tools like Claude Code. This MCP allows you to generate code from selected Figma frames, extract design context from your layers, like typography and color settings, for example. And what's super exciting is that with the latest update to the Figma MCP, you can just tell Claude Code to design for you in Figma. You can tell it what kind of designs you need, how many different variations you want, and Claude Code will get to work inside your Figma canvas. This feature is still in its relatively early stages, so Claude isn't a fantastic designer in Figma yet, but I suspect this will improve a lot in the near future. And it's still definitely worth giving a shot if you use both Claude Code and Figma. Now, to get through this list of my existing connectors, I'll be a bit more concise. I have Framer connected so I can make changes and improve the SEO of my website. I have GitHub connected for when I want to make a PR from Claude Code, Gmail to fetch context from my emails, and then a handful of others: Granola, Linear, Miro, Mobbin, Notion, Send.co, and Slack. You'll see that the Framer and Mobbin connectors are labeled custom. That's because those two connectors aren't listed directly on the Anthropic MCP marketplace. When that's the case, but the tool does still offer an MCP server, that's when you have to add a custom one. So now let's get into how to actually add these MCP servers to your AI tool. In the Claude desktop app, you hit this plus, then you can either browse connectors, which is where you see Anthropic's dedicated list of MCP server offerings, or like I just said, sometimes you'll have to add a custom one. This marketplace is where you'll find all the most popular MCP servers, including Figma, Notion, Granola, and many, many more. So I encourage you to go to this marketplace and see if your favorite tools are listed here. Once you have an MCP server connected, this is where you'll manage the server's permissions. For example, for generating a diagram, I have it set to needs approval, which means Claude will ask for your approval before running that tool. Whereas with all of these read-only tools, I have it set to always allow because I'm perfectly okay with that anytime. With write and delete tools, this is a common example where you might want to have it set to needs approval so that it doesn't make any drastic changes that you didn't want. With that being said, let's now get into some demos of the most crucial MCP servers for designers. Let's start off with a demo of the Figma MCP server, which is my most used MCP. And like I said, the most popular one for designers by far. With the Figma connector setup, I'm going to start a new session. If you want to make sure you have that connector enabled, click on the plus down here, hover over connectors, and then make sure the toggle for the Figma connector is enabled. Here's the prompt I'm going to use. Design a single page portfolio site for me in Figma here. And then I give it a link to this new Figma file that I've just started. This is so Claude Code knows exactly where to start designing. I also included a couple guidelines to help Claude design better. I'm saying include 2 frames, one for desktop, one for mobile, and then make it dark mode and use this hex code as the primary color. As I've said before, Claude is not a fantastic designer by default, so giving it all the guidance you can will get you the best result. Now let's hit prompt and see what it comes up with. And just like that, after about 5 minutes, Claude Code has built those 2 frames inside our Figma file. Now here's what it did right. It did build 2 frames, one for desktop, one for mobile, and it followed the guidelines I asked for regarding dark mode and that primary color. But if we look closely, it's really not that great of a design. There's some really obvious alignment issues going on. It's struggling to even get these buttons aligned properly, and I'm not totally sure what it was thinking with this GH with these circles extending from it. What I think it did okay on is building out these 2 sections for projects and skills, which look a bit closer to what you'd actually expect from a real portfolio site. One other thing I want to comment on is by default, Claude Code will probably not use auto layout to build your design. You can see over here in our layers panel, it's just a bunch of loosely structured frames, none of which have auto layout, meaning it would not be very seamless to make quick adjustments to the layout from here. But I'm glad it turned out like this because this is a good impression of what you often get on the first pass without giving it much guidance. It doesn't look quite as good as something a real designer would make, and there are some pretty obvious changes that need to be made. So now going back to Claude Code, let me show you a closer example of what my first prompt would look like. I would say use auto layout for every layer so that it's perfectly structured like a real web page. Then I'll also say establish color and typography styles as Figma design tokens and ensure every applicable layer uses them. This will force Claude to use a well-defined system for its colors and typography so that everything looks intentional and cohesive. What I've also done is attached a couple reference images of portfolio website designs that I like that I want Claude to follow as inspiration. This is the fastest way to pretty much give Claude a style guide and teach it what good taste in design looks like. So let's prompt it and see what improvements happen. And now from that prompt, we have a design that looks a lot more like a finished product and a design that you would actually see from a portfolio website. If I scroll down, you'll see it's cleaned up the project section quite a bit. And if I click into my layers and you look at the left side panel, you'll see that they now all have perfectly structured auto layout, meaning if I wanted to keep working on this project entirely inside Figma, it would be a lot easier because now every layout change is dynamic and seamless. So what you should take away from the Figma MCP server is that it's an incredible breakthrough for designers, and it gives your AI agent the ability to design for you inside your existing design tools, but it's not an instantaneous process. After you prompt your agent to start designing for you in Figma, it can take up to 5 to 10 minutes for it to finish its design process. And like you saw from this design session, you have to be pretty specific and intentional with Claude about what you want, otherwise you're going to get something that looks very generic and unusable. With that being said, the good news is every MCP server out there is only going to get stronger from here on out, and I highly recommend you go try out this MCP server, see what you come up with, and let me know in the comments if it's something you'd actually use day to day for your work. The next MCP server I want to show you is the Mobbin MCP. This is the design reference your AI agents are missing, and it goes a lot further than just attaching a couple screenshots you found online. It connects your AI agent to over 600,000 real product screens, so what they build starts with what already works. Once you tell your agent what you're designing, it pulls the most relevant patterns from real shipped products, so your designs are grounded in what the biggest brands in that space are actually doing. The setup is quick. Inside Mobbin, go to your account settings, find the MCP tab in the left sidebar, and then choose your preferred AI tool to see the setup instructions. If you're using the Claude desktop app, all you have to do is go to connectors, add a custom connector, name it Mobbin, and then copy this server URL. Paste that here, and then click add. Then just sign in with your Mobbin account. From that 30-second setup, your agent now has access to over 600,000 real product UI screens. How I like to use the Mobbin MCP is ask it to collect references of the top examples of whatever kind of product I'm designing. In this case, I'm going to say a food delivery mobile app. And in this case, I want to learn how the top companies are doing onboarding flows for this type of app. Now Claude is using the Mobbin MCP's search screens tool to find the most relevant examples from its library. Why this MCP server is so valuable is that you don't have to spend hours sifting through screens. You can just have your AI agent do it for you. Now my agent has studied all of the most relevant onboarding flows for mobile delivery apps, including industry leaders like Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Deliveroo. It's noted the key patterns that each of these apps are using, and this is all research that's going to inform the design that I'm about to have Claude Code generate for me. But if I want to go review these flows myself on Mobbin, I can tell Claude to provide Mobbin links to the most relevant onboarding flows like Uber Eats and DoorDash. Just like that, I have links to all of these top onboarding flows. And from here, I can scroll down to see similar screens too. But that's only the start. Here are a few other ways to work with the Mobbin MCP. Benchmarking. Drop in one of your existing designs and tell your agent to compare it to other apps in this category. My example is a net worth tracking app. And now after reviewing some of the top apps from Mobbin like Fidelity, Copilot, Monarch, Origin, it's telling me what I'm doing well in my design, like using dark mode as a default and combining investments and crypto in one view, and how my product design can be improved to follow what they're doing well. Remember, these are huge companies that we're being compared against that are pouring millions of dollars into the design of their apps. So finding out that we're missing very common things like a net worth history chart and an assets versus liabilities breakdown is crucial knowledge for my product design process. Another use case is competitive reports. You can tell it to browse Mobbin and build a competitive report on this category of apps. And then from synthesizing 120 screens across the personal finance category, it's given me a market map, telling me what the biggest companies are primarily offering with their apps, whether that's a net worth tracker or a budget enforcer. It's given me a screen-by-screen breakdown and going into incredible detail about how these different apps are displaying portfolios, budgets, transactions, and much, much more. Now, this is a ton of research, and if you're a more visual person, a use case you might find more beneficial is generating a mood board. I'll say generate a mood board showing 10 to 15 of the top onboarding screens. Then, instead of getting a detailed report, you can get a curated view of the visuals you would see on Mobbin's actual website. And now, instead of just having a long list of guidelines I should be following for my design, I have a curated view of embedded Mobbin screens in a single HTML file. This is my favorite MCP server right now because it takes all the best flows and UI screens from the best design inspiration platform and puts them at my fingertips in the AI agent I already use every day. To get started with the Mobbin MCP server, go to the link in the description and get 20% off your subscription today. The third MCP server I want to show you today is going to be more relevant to you web designers out there, and it's the Framer MCP server. I host my website on Framer, and as much as I like the Framer UI, I often find it easier to just do what I want to do from Claude Code through their MCP server. They offer 22 different MCP tools, which means you have a lot of flexibility in terms of what you want to do through their MCP. Check this out. Let's say I'm not really feeling the layout of my current about page. To make some adjustments to it from Claude Code, I'll open this toolbar, and then open the MCP plugin. If you want to follow along with the Framer MCP, just look up Framer MCP and open this link. It offers simple setup instructions down below to set it up as a custom connection. Once you've set it up, just remember you have to keep this plugin open while using the MCP. I'm going to tell Claude, using the Framer MCP, rework the layout of my about page. Keep the same overall styling, just improve the layout. Now it's reading the full structure of my about page and planning its redesign. And now it's finished those changes. I've let it go off on its own and conduct some overall layout improvements. And here's what it's come up with. It's kept the same overall styling like I asked for, but it's given each of these cards full width so they have room to breathe, and then pushed these two sections below and placed them side by side, which I think is a nice touch. And look, as long as I have this MCP plugin open, Claude can perform nearly any task that I want it to inside my Framer project, whether it's a full redesign or just making some really specific tweaks. Now, although Framer comes with some built-in SEO tools, I even had Claude conduct a full SEO audit of my Framer project and make some small but impactful changes that improved the visibility of my website on Google. So there's some really interesting use cases for the Framer MCP, and especially if you already use Framer for your website or client projects, I highly recommend you go try it out. Link is down in the description to get started with Framer if you haven't already. MCPs aren't just a feature, it's a shift that changes how AI fits into your process. You go from prompting a clueless tool to working with an AI that has actual context. Your files, your components, your research, your real product. That's what makes the difference between output that's kind of useful and output that's actually production ready. If this video is helpful for you, subscribe to keep learning about agentic design workflows and how to fit AI into your design process. And if there's a specific MCP or workflow that you want me to dive into deeper, leave it in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.